This is a video for how to go about creating a fully dimensioned drawing for item 4 in your 20 ISOs project in Fusion 360. I'm going to double click on number 4 and it's going to load in our graphics window. I'll go to Design, Drawing, from Design, stay with your PLTW title block that we created in a previous video and say OK. Once our drawing template loads, we will need to go over and click Scale and we'll go to 1/3. For this. I'm going to go ahead and place our view and say OK. Project your view, click on your front view, top, side, ISO, right click, say OK. Double click on the blue line, make the object shaded. Again, we can change the scale if we want, but we're going to choose not to. Say close. We'll go up to dimension, and for the sake of this video I'm going to teach you how to do an angular dimension along with some other basically baseline dimensions. But just for the sake of this video, we're going to do the full width of the object in the top view. I'm going to click and drag down. I'm going to right click and say OK. Now we could, for the sake of discussion, have come down here and said, I want to put the full width in the front view, but that's going to kind of create this long extension line, and you wouldn't be wrong if you placed it this way, but I want to show you how to do an angular dimension. So just for the sake of this video, we're only going to go in and dimension the full width in the top view. We're going to dimension from these 2 points, and we're going to dimension from these 2 points. Now, depending on how you made the part, you could do something known as a chamfer to cut this off. So when you do a chamfer, you can put in 2 different distances, and you can also put in an angular dimension. And for the sake of just doing this video and teaching you how, we're going to place an angular dimension for this line. So we're going to click on our diagonal line and this horizontal line, and we're going to drag out. And we're going to place the angular dimension out here. Now we don't place it inside the object because you never want to place a dimension on the inside of an object. You don't want to put text generally inside a view because the view needs to maintain its true shape. We're going to right click and say OK. And that is all of our width dimensions. Now in the video, we probably went in and did from here to here, and you could put in a 6, and you could say I could honestly just draw a line over 2 from the side and cut a triangle out. But if by chance you ever do a chamfer that's based on a specific angle, this is how you would dimension it. We'll now do our depth dimensions. I want to avoid doing my depth dimensions in the side view because I would have to drag a long extension line out, and it can make it kind of look like this is part of the object when you start dimensioning. Again, it's up to you. You wouldn't necessarily be wrong if you placed it that way. I just think it looks cleaner and it's easier to see when you place everything in a view that has horizontal and vertical lines like we see up here in the top view. So in the top view, I'm going to go for my full depth from these 2 points, and I'm going to drag out, and then from these 2 points I'm going to drag out and place. Total depth of 5, total width of 8. We know our location dimension from this point into this point in our ISO. Next we will place our height dimensions. We want to make sure that we maintain adjacency between our views when we dimension, but in this specific case I'm going to choose to go non-adjacent only because of what I've kind of been saying. Again, you can choose whatever you choose to do is just generally fine, but this line looks like it's continuous from this object and can make the viewer look automatically and think maybe it's not part of it. Even though the line weight is greater a lot of times in your actual drawing, sometimes I like to make sure that things are completely and totally clean. So I'm going to place my full height dimension to the right of my side view. I'm going to place it over here. Now this is technically non-adjacent, but I'm going to say I otherwise could not avoid it. I don't really want to place it in my front view going, from like here to here, because I don't want to leave this kind of on the inside. I know that people would be able to see that and they could say, that's easy enough to understand, but I choose to keep mine between the views and try to avoid any confusion or overlap. One more location dimension we would need, and that is the distance from here down to here. And I'm going to choose to place that in my side view. I'll put both of my height dimensions in the side view. So if we look at the drawing, we can tell the width is 8, the depth is 5, and the height is 5. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out here, and I want to go up to save. Should have saved earlier in the video. Honestly, after we place our views, it's always good to click save. I highly recommend you keep everything named the same like we've done in previous videos, and we will say save, And again, over here in your project browser, I mean, look at how easy and clean and easy it is to see everything. I mean, this is a really nice feature of Fusion 360 in comparison to Autodesk Inventor. So this has been a video on how to create a fully dimensioned drawing of number 4 from your 20 ISOs project in Fusion 360.